Yes, I'm Mark Kielesz-Levine, and this indeed is Kerry Mall. News and entertainment brought together to bring you this special hour live edition of the Leeds West Indian Carnival, celebrating 50 years.
Mind, obviously, I don't call him that myself, and it looked pretty funny, you know, shouting down the street, "Come here, Brexit," wasn't it? His name's obviously Clifford.
Yeah, so I guess even within the house, perhaps you're making dinner, there'll be no, well, you know, Brexit dinner's ready, so there'll be nothing of that, will there? Nothing of that. One of the issues that arose during the election process and before that was accusations of anti-Semitism within the Labour Party. Now, you represent a large Jewish community in North Leeds. Yeah. How were you speaking to that electorate and what were they saying to you?
Well, a lot of them were very, very opposed to Jeremy Corbyn becoming Prime Minister.
Welcome to Leeds Trinity. On International Women's Day, there is a clubber-sized class going on. It's being organised by This Skill Can. Of course, it encourages women to keep active, fit and healthy in the city and also be proud of who they are as well. This is the organiser, this is Louise. Louise, you're on Made in Leeds right now.
Hi.
Why are events like this so important?
It's really important because it brings women together.
Well, welcome to West Yorkshire Fire and Rescue. This is the launch of their new recruitment drive. There's an extra emphasis on getting women into the service this year. This is David Chadwick, he's the watch manager. And I guess you want more women to join the service because, quite simply, there aren't enough. These aren't just two ordinary people pole dancing or taking part in pole fitness, as some may call it. It's actually a dad and his daughter. They were once branded weird on Britain's Got Talent a few years back, but Dave, who's 52, and Hazel, who's 27, are now set to open up their own studio. Their relationship does surprise some people, but the duo focus their classes on the gymnastic skills rather than sexy dance moves. Certainly is a special bond. Well, earlier today I caught up with Hazel and Dave over Skype. Hazel, Dave, thanks for joining me today. First of all, it's nice to see that your experience on Britain's Got Talent hasn't fazed you. You're about to open this studio. Now, I know that some people are still taken aback by seeing this relationship. What do you say to people when they question it?
I don't think that it's all weird or strange.
Let's start with something that you're responsible for overseeing, Brexit. Now, in Leeds, we're classed as the 50-50 city. Yeah. 50% wanted in, 50% wanted out, there or thereabouts, reflected, I would imagine, the situation for much of the country. What assurances will you give to the 50% that wanted in for the European Union? Because most people assume that voting for the Conservatives is a hard Brexit.
Well, I don't even recognise the term hard Brexit. I mean, first thing to say about the people...
Jeremy Corbyn, of course, tapped into that, seemed to galvanise support in your area and in Leeds North West, like we say. In terms of your relationship now with Jeremy Corbyn and the shadow cabinet, do you think the door is open for you to rejoin that?
Look, all of those are decisions for Jeremy Corbyn. I've been chairing in the last Parliament. In the end, any deal will have to come back to the House of Commons.
Can you put your issues behind you and Jeremy?
Look, the thing about the Labour Party is we're a big family. And sometimes there are...
Is that right? Is that right, Hillary? Even months ago when there was infighting and MPs wanted Jeremy out, are you really a big family?
We are a big family. We are a big family because...
But when we talk about the parade itself and we talk about the Leeds West Indian Carnival, it's not just about the food and it's not just in itself about the parade, of course, Kerry. It's about the many costumes, some of which can fetch up to £1,000, despite the fact that they've been put together with bits and pieces that you might buy at, say, like B&Q or something.
Yeah, no. What have you dressed up as today, Mark?
It's actually your shirt, though, Kerry.
It is actually my shirt. So taking the sparkle out of myself, though, aren't I, a little bit?
Yeah. But when it comes to costumes, of course, it's a long process. It takes many, many hours and dedication to get it right. So let's just see how some of those fantastic costumes are put together. OK, let's go and speak to some of the people actually taking part as well. You know, where there's glow sticks, there's usually Mark Kielesz-Levine. That is the case today as well. I'm going to speak to Emily. This is Emily taking part. You're watching a special Made television news programme going out across major cities in the network. We're live in Manchester this evening, first bringing you the latest on the tragic and catastrophic events of last night's terrorist attack, and then also giving you local reaction and stories from those affected and those that witnessed the fatal events unfold from your city. And this is what we know so far. 22-year-old Salman Abedi has been named by police as the suspected suicide bomber. 22 people have been confirmed as killed and 59 injured in what police believe was a suicide bombing at Manchester Arena. But first, to our top story, and Leeds' bid to become the European Capital of Culture in 2023 has been thrown into serious jeopardy. The host cities were due to be announced in just 1 week's time, but with the deadline looming, the European Commission has today announced the shock decision, saying that as one of the many concrete consequences of Brexit, UK participation
is no longer possible. It comes as a massive surprise to Leeds' bid team, who've spent years finalising the official submission, with £1 million spent in the process.
None of my friends finished it. I was the only one to finish it in the completed time.
Are you surprised by how popular your videos are? I mean, it's just people watching you eat. Are you surprised by how many people engage with you because of it?